Every semester, the many dance crews from across the University of Michigan campus come together for an annual bar night. From hip hops to heels groups, each team performs a dance they've been working on for months. As I watched and everyone clapped along, I heard a man next to me say, "I hate it when girls try to be too sexy." I turned around, appalled at the judgment I was hearing, but the man had already walked away. This idea of women being too sexy or having uncontrolled sexuality has always intrigued me since I was first introduced to it in an Intro to Gender and Health class. We specifically discussed the social construction of gender introduced in the 20th century, including representations of how African American women have been hypersexualized by pseudoscience as well as media and popular culture. Similarly, in this class, I learned about the ways that psychiatry in the 19th century attempted to manage white women's minds by controlling their sexuality. In the Victorian era, uncontrolled sexuality was a defining symptom of insanity. In her book, The Female Malady, Elaine Showalter talks about how Victorian psychiatry's goal was to preserve the woman's brain stability. Psychiatrists at the time believed they needed to preserve the brain by managing women's bodies, meaning they wanted to keep them sane. It was thought that sexuality disrupted brain balance and increased instability. According to Showalter, they created the idea that women were more vulnerable to insanity than men because of the instability of their reproductive systems, interfered with their sexual, emotional, and rational control. Because of this, they thought they could preserve women's mental health by teaching women how to resist the stresses, or hormones and bodily functions, of their body that result from their reproduction and sexuality. I was intrigued by how the regulation of female bodies in the asylum included clitoridectomies, removing the clitoris, cold showers to delay their periods, and physical work, such as laundry. These practices endeavored to take away their ability to feel sensations, manipulating their hormones and forcing them to do labor. By establishing a strict regimen for the insane women, moral management was introduced. Moral management is the idea that the insane should be treated with gentleness and given a strict daily schedule. For white women specifically, moral management meant learning to dress well according to modern fashion, gain feminine social manners like silence and decorum, and complete mundane tasks like sewing and cooking. I have learned the many cures to white female insanity, including manipulating women's sexuality and gendered moral management. By diagnosing them as insane, these women lost agency to express their sexuality in the asylum. I find an interesting parallel in today's 21st century society, where we have strong social constructions of what women are supposed to be like: the primary housekeeper, part of monogamous relationships, and ladylike. This is similar to the goal that moral management tried to achieve. Just as there were progressive people in the 1800s condemning clitoridectomies, there are people today who continue to fight for women's rights. Sexuality and the expression of it is a fascinating topic, and although we don't make as many women do therapeutic labor, like do laundry and sew, we still have men and women questioning what is appropriate for a woman to do in dance.